Hey guys, what's up? Back for part 2 of the video. I realized in the last video I didn't run down a couple of things, so I'm going to put them in this side of the video. But we'll get started. I didn't touch upon cold weather gear or my leggings, so I'm basically just going to run through these things pretty quickly. What's original, what's reproduction, where I got it, stuff like that. So this is my 5-button sweater from At the Front. Very similar issue I had with the GI boxers. These buttons started to come off, so I had to hand sew them. Really, with any reproduction gear, anything that has buttons on it that's reproduction, before you bring it out into the field, you just want to give it like a nice tug, check and see if all of this is gonna, stay in place. Because the worst thing ever is when you're out in the field and you lose buttons. So if you have to hand sew all the buttons onto everything again, which is exactly what I did with this, my boxers, and my 41. Every single button I hand sewed back on. You just kind of have to do it. These tags are actually pretty nice looking. But high quality, keeps you super warm. I would honestly just go reproduction with this because you really can't beat something that's, it's the same exact look and knit as the original one, but it's just higher quality. Because it's modernized for the most part. Scarves. At the Front sells scarves. I wouldn't give them my money for a scarf any single day of the week because it's painfully overpriced, but it's because it's made in the US. A lot of their products that are made in the US are incredibly expensive because they're higher quality, which I believe, but at the same time it's just like, really, $50 for a scarf? Like, please be real. So that's just a cut of a blanket. I didn't butcher the blanket, so I felt better about buying this off of somebody else, but I got that for like $5. These are reproduction leather palm gloves. Obviously buy these reproduction, in my opinion. I wouldn't trust, gloves that are meant to be worn in the wet snow and grossness that were made back then to withstand it. These are actually pretty good. I've had them for a couple of years. I actually don't remember where I got them, so I apologize for that, but these ones are pretty solid. This is an At the Front knit cap. Of course it has cat hair all over it. Yeah, reproduction. I just go reproduction for hats like that. Jeep caps, anything that's knit, I'd probably go more reproduction than I would, everybody wears like original, like envelope caps and stuff. Like it's just a different story when it comes to knit goods. The gas hood, original, obviously. I don't even think they make these reproduction, but if they do, that's great. I just have an original. And leggings. Leggings are something that just about every GI needs. I only have ever bought original ones, of course, so I can't give you a good place to go for good quality reproduction ones. Anybody who wants to leave any comments about, like, I bought really good stuff from What Price Glory, or, I found really good stuff at this place or that place, please leave it in the comments, because I know there's a lot of things I haven't been able to answer those questions about. And as much as I'm a resource to people, everybody in the community is a resource, so I want to try and use this as like a catalyst to get people to help, their fellow reenactors and stuff. But we'll get going with web gear. Okay guys, web gear. I'm gonna make this painfully simple. No examples or anything. I'm not gonna list every single piece of web gear I have, because everything I own that's web gear is, you guessed it, original. So I know for a fact that over the past couple of years I've been finding all my web gear with the help of friends, with beg, steal, borrow, and barter. Not steal, but you know what I mean. Help of friends, going to flea markets, going to events. Oh, I'm getting out of the hobby. How much do you want for this? I'll give you $15. Sounds good. Stuff like that. Realistically, I will not be the person to be like, hey, I got a good reproduction piece of web gear from this place, because I
I don't have any reproduction web gear. So I hope that was simple enough for you. And like I said in the last part, you guys have anything you want to add, please add it, because I wanted to make this video really badly, but as I was going through and going like, all right, you know, I got this, I was realizing, wow, oh my god, all my stuff is original, like, and I got it over the length of 9 years. That's not going to be super helpful for everybody, especially people getting into the hobby who haven't even been to a reenactment yet. So please, 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 please help your fellow reenactor, add stuff in the comments. It'll definitely help me help them and ultimately make you feel good about helping someone. Yeah, like I said. Alright, I have a few more pointers that I do want to add, and I'll get into those right now. Okay guys, so to end the video, I have a few little pointers that I put down at the bottom of my page. This is how chaotic the page is. So, cheap, too good to be true, economy, any of those things pop up in your brain and you're like, oh, you know, this is coming from China, or, oh, you know, this is economy, so it's gonna be less money, and, you know, I'll just get it now, and then, like, eventually I'll get another thing later, and the too good to be true. Why is this thing that they're saying is original, $15? That is, I wrote it here, and do not buy it. I had like a verbal seizure. Do not buy it. Just don't buy it. It's just such a waste of your money. You're gonna be kicking yourself down the line. You're gonna be like, damn, you know, I spent 25 bucks on this economy cartridge belt from XYZ, and now I'm like, you know, really into the hobby, and I'm realizing, oh, you know, my stuff's not really up to snuff. I really need to upgrade it. And you're gonna be like, wow, I have to drop another 50 bucks. That I just lost, you know, 75 bucks basically on something I could have just, you know, ultimately just bought and just been like, you know what, bite the bullet, you know, buy it. Yeah, like, this is an example of one of those things. This was a helmet liner that I had for years and years and years, and it's a piece of garbage. I still have it, just in case I need it, but I would not be caught dead, you know, 9 years into the hobby wearing something like this at a reenactment. It's in poor taste when people have been in the hobby for so long and they don't want to put in the effort to make their impressions better. We see it all the time in the hobby, and a big part of the hobby is historical accuracy. Sorry, it is. You know, you ask any reenactor who takes the hobby seriously and really gives a damn about it, they're going to tell you historical accuracy is like one of the #1 priorities in this hobby. So like I said, anything that looks like this, anything that's coming from China, anything that's too good to be true, just don't buy it. Just don't buy it. It's a waste of your time, your money, and you're going to be incredibly frustrated, you know, a year down the line when you're like, oh, damn, my banana yellow haversack is not cutting it anymore, and people are starting to get a little pissed at me or something. Items that are post-war. So I mentioned the Korean War liner. The only reason I mentioned that is because it is hidden. It's on your head. If you look at me, obviously I'm not in my uniform right now. If you look at me and you can't pick out, oh, you know, like something looks wrong here, and the only thing that I had wrong was my helmet liner because it just wasn't the right color, that's not a big deal to me. You know what I mean? Something that is blatantly wrong, something that is completely out of the era, something that is the absolute wrong color, anything of that nature, just avoid it. Don't be like, oh, hey, I really need this thing right now. Oh, but this kind of cuts it. I'll just start wearing this. I would much rather see a brand new guy in the hobby running around with, you know, a legit good steel pot, like I told you to buy, a wool shirt, the correct wool trousers, the correct boots, and a cartridge belt, and a rifle. I would much rather see somebody running around with the bare bones of an impression than running around with something that looks completely screwed up. To put it in a PG sense. Just completely all over the place, completely screwed up. I'd rather see somebody in a bare bones impression than something that just does not look right. Because you'll get there. And that's the, oh no, that's the last one. I gotta mention this last one. This other one. So when you get into the hobby, you will learn that the community is everything. The community is, you know, you're gonna love people in the community, you're gonna hate people in the community. People are gonna hate you, you're gonna love them. It's gonna be a weird situation, or vice versa. You're gonna hate them, they're gonna love you. But your friends and the rest of the community are such a resource in terms of helping you with research, helping you with finding the best deals, helping you with plethoras of things. Even if they're not in your unit and, you know, you message them on Facebook and you're like, yo, I really like your impression. Like, where did you get this? Where did you get that? How long have you been, you know, like asking people questions? And that's why I really like it when you guys leave me questions, because I love helping people. This is such, obviously reenacting is a passion I have, but on top of that, I really like helping people. And that's, you know, that's what I get out of doing these videos, is I get to help a bunch of people, you know, improve their impressions. And that's an awesome thing, because I want so many more people in this hobby to just have like beautiful impressions. I'm so weird. I'm sorry. Borrowing from your unit. If you are in a unit and you've just like, you know, you've just made it in and you have that bare bones impression I was talking about, and, you know, Joe Schmo in your unit's just like, hey, you know, I'm a 42 regular. Are you a 42 regular? Hey, you can borrow my coat. You can borrow, you know, you could borrow my this, you could borrow my that. Borrowing things from people in the hobby and people in like your unit, that's like how you start off. Lots of people start borrowing with, you know, start off borrowing rifles, borrowing helmets, borrowing jackets. And then as you get there, then obviously you get there. If you can't supply it yourself and you find a unit that's, stop looking at the birds, stop it, you're distracting me. You find a unit that has good enough people who are gonna be like, hey, you know, you can borrow this. You've probably found the right unit. If you come into a unit and people are like, no, I don't want you to borrow my stuff, it's all mine, like, I would not recommend you stay with that unit, because they're obviously not really your friends. That being said, everybody, even me, even Airborne Boy 506, even any number of other reenactors, we all start somewhere. We all start somewhere. And if you're just joining reenacting in 2019, I apologize. You're coming in a pretty difficult time where equipment has definitely rose in price in the past couple of years, and you'll get there. Just don't blow your bank account on a bunch of stuff that you know you're not sure if you need it yet, because you haven't really gotten, you know, into the hobby and everything. Ask questions, seek out research, find units. People in your unit are going to be even more knowledgeable than the internet, because having a face-to-face conversation with someone is better than watching a video like this, trust me. Just, you gotta get out there, and you gotta accept the fact, hey, you know, I'm not there yet, but you will get there. If you put in the effort, if you put in the research, if you put in, you know, the desire to want to be better, you can be it's what you put into the hobby that you're gonna get out of the hobby. That's the best way to put it, in my opinion. But yeah, guys, I know I probably missed out on a few things. Please comment below if you want to know anything about, like, my wool overcoat or my raincoat or any of those things, because I know I didn't add them in the video. It just got really long, so I didn't want to make another 25-minute video. But that being said, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was a little long. I'm trying to do these educational videos now while I have the time, because I know when I start working again, I'm going to be very busy. So fuck me. Guys, have a good one, okay? And I'll see you in the next video.